Hi, everybody. Welcome to Behind the Scenes. We missed you last week and hope everybody had a great Labor Day weekend. And we are going to talk about today having some magic powers, which I kind of thought I had some at some point in my life with raising my kids. And then I turned out I had none. But anyway, that's for another time. Today, we're going to dream. We're going to dream big about the magical powers that we have around taking something away that right now is maybe not helping us as humans. So I'm going to round it up at the end because I'm going to let everyone do their big, fabulous choices that they shared. And so we're going to start with Sharon, who picked the best topic. You're on mute, Sharon.
All right, here I am. So picking what technology to uninvent, the choices, there's so many. I mean, obviously cell phones, but we can't even go there because that's just too obvious and too big. So what I was thinking about was the parent portal to see your kids' grades. Why? Okay, so we're supposed to be involved parents. That's what the idea is. Or is it for the kids to monitor their own grades? It's so confusing. So we're supposed to sign up. They tell you must sign up. And then once it's there, some of the teachers say, please see how your kid's doing. So then now it's on me to check whether my kid has turned in their homework online. You know, I can't just ask my kid. And then the other problem is that once I have access, there's kind of this temptation to look. Like now I know I can look. I don't really want to because I want my kid to be responsible, but now I look and then I see, oh, they didn't turn in some assignment. They got a 0. And now do I tell my kid and be the nag or do I let them do it? It introduces too much confusion. And I just wish it weren't there. So I'm going to pass it down to Kamira.
Well, before we move on, let's say show of hands. How many people wish it wasn't there? Yeah. Hello, schools. We don't want this.
I agree with you, Sharon, and I think that it delays the responsibility. That they need to know that this is something that's up to you. I'm not going to manage it for you. You can't fall back on me. My technology that I would like to get rid of, the wireless earbuds. I can never tell if my kid has them in. I'm always going, do you hear me? Can you hear me? Are you listening to music? And then I've been known to maybe once or twice sneak up behind and pull one out to shut it off. And then they're always telling me, yes, I heard you, but I don't think they hear everything. And then I'm doubtful about what they heard and if I should repeat myself. And it's just driving me loony and they really shouldn't have it. I always say, you know what? When you came to me or when you were born, you didn't have this little thing in your ear. It's an extra part and I don't like it. Can you just remove it? It's one part that you don't need. It's unnatural. That was a little one. It's a little one, but it drives me crazy. I'm going to send it up to Jen.
My list is really long. So I have 2, indulge me. One is if I could go back in time when my kids were in middle school, I would have really liked to uninvent group chat. I felt like that was just one more way for them to feel left out. They either didn't get the memo about the party because they didn't have a smartphone and they didn't have group chat, or even when they did have cell phones or smartphones and they could have group chat, they would sometimes find out they weren't part of another group chat that was doing the cool, fun stuff. And it was kind of crazy making. And also they would just stay up way too late, like scrolling through the group chat with hundreds of kids who weren't even their friends. It was just way too much. Now I like group chat because we have one as a family and they're older and it's a fun way for us to stay connected. So it's a double-edged sword, but middle school group chat, two thumbs down from this critic. But my personal technology pet peeve that I would like to uninvent forever is the leaf blower. I have an irrational, angry response to the sound of a leaf blower. It's like my cat with a vacuum. I see it coming out. I'm like, no. It ruins every conversation. If you're outside, if you're inside, I have to close all the doors and the windows. And it makes me so angry to see my neighbor's landscaper like blowing each individual leaf and blade of grass off of their property and into the street. Just use a rake, people. Could we just not? I felt like I was kind of channeling Mindy there for a minute when I said that. Did that sound like Mindy a little bit? Come on, people. Can we just, enough with the leaf blowers. Okay, over to Eka.
Good morning, everyone. Yeah, you know what? That's so funny you say that, because I remember, I think about it, every time we go to sit down to have outside dinner, there's always a leaf blower. And it seems like the minute we have our food and we're sitting down and going to have a nice conversation, the leaf blower starts. So I hadn't thought of that. Thank you, Jen, for bringing up those fabulous memories. So mine, which is a little ironic being where we are right now, is social media. Oh, I don't like it. I don't like it, but I'm addicted to it. And maybe that's part of the reason I don't like it, is I feel like I have to see what's happening. And if I'm not on social media for a couple of days, I'm like, wait, what did I miss? And that's me as an adult. And I know when my girls were teens and were starting to go into social media, the whole monitoring of like, what are you doing? And this is a personal example. Social media was new. My daughter was on it, and, she friended everybody. And my father-in-law calls me and he says to me, can you explain to me why there's a picture of my daughter or my granddaughter on Facebook blowing up a condom? And I was like, no, do not know that answer, but I will get back to you. So it turns out that it was a scavenger hunt for some kind of bonding with the swim team. And they had to go to like Walmart, buy a pack of condoms, whatever, and then like blow one, whatever it was. But I was like, okay, you know what? Once again, it's time to talk about what is appropriate and not appropriate to post on your page. So that kind of stuff, and kind of teaching them through and just all of that, what's everybody else doing, and everything looks awesome and everybody has a great life. All of that just gets to me. So that's my like blah, 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 blah. Anyway, I'm going to send it up to Mindy.
Thank you. I couldn't find the unmute button. So much here to talk about. First, Sharon, or Sue, for Sharon's topic, we could have a whole week on the parent portal. And I think it would be fascinating. Maybe we could get a teacher or a school administrator to join the discussion. Like, what's the point? What do they see? I don't know. I can go on and on, but I won't. The second is, Kamira, with the earbuds, not only are kids, but are you not, when you're in a store or you're walking along and there's someone having this incredible conversation or all emotional and no one's around them, it just freaks me out. I want to, always takes me a minute to say, okay, all right, they're talking on the phone. So I totally agree, and Eka, of course, social media. Jen, the leaf blower, I'm okay with that. So my issue is the remotes, these newfangled remote, like, don't you just want to sit down, turn it on, channel, done? But instead there's a million trillion power and streaming, and it takes me 20 minutes to get there. So not that I want to get up and do the old, when we were really little, manual TV thing, but how about just a remote on, off, pick a channel? Very simple. So that's mine. So onward, Jessica.
Okay,
Jessica,
I was about to say.
Jessica, before you jump in, let's just share what Stephanie has to say.
I was about to say.
Stephanie Galanis. Hi, Stephanie. It's nice to see you again. On a marriage level, I'd love to get rid of Facebook. My husband lives off everyone's life, carries his phone everywhere. That is really funny. Okay, back to you, Jessica.
She also has an earlier comment, which I'll just put up, because she said, YouTube, the parental controls are either he can't play or listen to certain things that aren't bad but are considered to be graphic when they're like Minecraft videos, and the other is no parental controls, which, as somebody who's on YouTube a lot, it's not a good it's not a good. I'd get rid of YouTube. But for my own personal one, I just hate like the advertisements that. Oh, did that just reappear? Why can't I get rid of it? Oh my gosh. At like the advertisements that like listen in and know what you have been talking about. I hate that. Is somebody clicking that?
Okay, Jessica,
Oh, I haven't touched it. I haven't touched it.
okay.
I don't know. That's
The
it. That's it.
the battle has been won.
You know, maybe I'd get rid of StreamYard. I don't know. It's embarrassed me enough in public. I'll pass it back to Susan.
All right, Jessica, tell us what yours was again.
Just ads that can like that know what you've been talking about. That like the and also just they're always so obtrusive. Like on YouTube, on Hulu, it's just like they're unskippable, several minute long videos about things that I am never going to purchase.
Okay, let's just see this one. Brianna says, I think our biggest thing is YouTube. It's there's so many opportunities. There's just so many things. So I wanted to talk about Instagram in the sense that, like, I think social media is here to stay. I think all these things are here to stay. But I think one of the things that Instagram has in particular is this loss of actually experiencing what you're doing because you're so busy trying to capture it. And you know, when I was young, which was a billion trillion years ago, we would also take pictures with a camera, but it was like a group activity. Like everybody would jump on each other and you'd want to capture the moment, but it was interpersonal. And with Instagram, what I see from a lot of kids is that they themselves are focused on themselves, trying to get the Instagram perfect picture as like the most beautiful thing is happening around us. And they're busy like with that pose and then looking at it and then deleting it and doing it again. And I just feel like for our daughters in particular, it's setting up, I don't feel this alone, everyone's writing about it, so I won't take credit, but it's setting up this standard of beauty that is unattainable. And the flip side also is that they're missing out on the experience itself because they're so busy trying to document what is going on in the world around them.
Can I tag in on that for a second, Sue?
Please.
I felt like as a parent, I missed a lot of great opportunities because I was documenting, especially if it was like the school play or their marching band performance. I was so busy trying to get a little video clip or just the right picture that I wasn't present and watching it. And it took me a long time to remind myself to just put it away and just enjoy that moment. And the truth is, you're really never going to go back and watch those videos. You really are. You think you are, but you're not. So just enjoy it. It's okay. You don't have to document everything.
It is a weird thing though, like how much you want to capture for the chance to go back to. And you like, we were at a Disney trip and there was a family in our neighborhood that was here for a year. And so they went to Disney also. And we were all on this ride together that was like being inside of a video game. It was actually very fun. And we saw them on the way out and, you know, we're a little competitive as a family. So we jumped on this other family to say, how many points did you get? And they didn't know it was a game because the guy was videotaping the whole experience. He was like, wait, what? So they left with like 18 hours of video that when will they ever watch that, right? Okay, Ekka's being called on.
Yeah, so you're saying that about videotaping. I went on a trip, this fabulous, like once in a lifetime trip to Morocco, and there was a guy on there in his 20s who had a GoPro, and he put the GoPro like on his head for the entire trip. And then when we were driving through the Atlas Mountains for hours, he put the GoPro, asked the bus driver to mount it on the front windshield, and like taped video the entire trip through the Atlas Mountains. When are you going to go back and look at 6 hours of driving through mountains? And everything was like that the entire trip. It was the craziest thing. I'm like, who are you going to watch 12 days of footage at any point in your life? So,
and if you are, you're not busy enough, right? Okay, so Brianna says that her 14 and 15-year-old don't have social media yet. They beg for it. Hold tight, Brianna. And Stephanie says, as a photographer, she learned to sit and enjoy the marching band, which good for you, because clearly it is a work in progress for many of us. All right, everybody, thanks so much for being on with us today, and we will see you next Monday.